Hello and welcome to CEO Insights, the Living Organization podcast with Vitaly Geyman. That's me. With me is Mark Banfield from 1E. Welcome, Mark.
Vitaly, lovely to meet you. Lovely to see you. How's
Uh,
things?
Very good, very good. So, Mark is the CEO of an IT company that has very specialized mission. Mark, why don't you tell us about the mission of your company?
Yeah, so we're a company, it's called 1E, as in the number one, the letter E, and we are in the area of digital employee experience. So, what that means, really, in a nutshell, is that there's practically no job that I can think of that doesn't rely upon technology. And the experience that you have with that technology to do your job is of paramount importance. And what we do at 1E is we enable IT teams that work in enterprise organizations to manage and measure that experience. And really, what we allow them to do is identify friction at the endpoint that users are going to get, and enable them to remediate and remove that friction. And that's incredibly important to ensure there's productivity, to ensure that employees can do their job, adequately, as well as it's a massive cost reduction. Because now, if you can automatically identify this friction and remove it, then actually you can remove a lot of costs within your organization to support end users.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you, being an IT guy, engineer, and a
Yeah,
frustrated user.
yeah.
Give us a quick example. What kind of frustrations you've faced?
Well, so we're all used to using our PCs, our laptops, and we're very used to, I mean, I ask the question often to people, when was the last time you finished your work day and said, I had a great IT day today? And people laugh and say, well, I never had that. And the reason is because there's lots of things that can go wrong. There's performance issues on the device, there's reliability problems on the device. There's lots of things go wrong with applications. We all know the spinning wheel that you get. We all know things like when applications crash, when things go wrong, when you can't connect to things. There's a thousands of things that can go wrong. And so what we're able to do is to really analyze those devices and identify those things before the user ends up in a really bad situation, like, for example, having their machine crash or having some sort of issue where they can't use their machine to do their job.
Hmm. Wonderful. Thank you for now. This podcast is there about the living organization, and
Mm-hmm.
which is better than a dead organization. I
That's for
keep
sure.
joking, but
Mm.
and the
Yeah.
living organization is a purpose-driven organization that really
Mm-hmm.
cares for its customers. Number one, to serve its customer, because a living being really here to serve and adapt to its environment, but it also cares about people. And we already started to talk about this difficult balance for CEOs. On one level, we need to deliver the results. I mean, yeah, people are
Yeah.
nice and so on, but we need to have our urban revenue. Otherwise, listen, everybody goes home. We can't even pay the wages. On the other hand, we need to go and nurture the people and take time and some. How do we balance those two? Mhm.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I mean, yes, of course, you end up being very, very fixated on the financial performance of the company because that, we have shareholders and we have, you have results that we have to drive. And ultimately that's the output. You've got to drive that financial performance of the organization. But you're right, you've also got to create an environment where, people want to come and do their best work and they want to be part of something. And I often think like as a leader, as a CEO, there's really four principles that I think about in terms of leadership. One is CASE is the term, case. So the C stands for community. Your job as a leader is to create a community where people want to be part of something. The A is authenticity. You have to be authentic, wear your heart on your sleeve and be a real person. The S is significance. You have to create significance in every part of the organization. So everyone understands what their role is and how it relates to the larger goals of the organization. And the E is energy and excitement. You've got to create an environment of energy and excitement. So we focus a lot on that, but what we really focus on is purpose. We really want people to be aligned to the purpose of the organization. Not everyone comes to work every day just for money. I mean, money is important. You've got to earn a salary, but you want to be a part of something big. And we're on a mission at 1E to reimagine how technology serves people in their jobs, and in doing so, help IT teams revolutionize the future of work. And that's really the mission that this company's been on for more than 20 years. And it's a company that's really grounded in a very, very core purpose.
Mm. And how is that showing up in terms of revenue and profit for you guys?
Yeah, no, we're performing very well. I mean, we're a privately held company, and you know, we're privately owned by we're owned by private equity, as well as we have a great founder, Samir Karai, that started the business more than 20 years ago, who's still on our board and very active with me in terms of the direction and strategy of the organization. Great partner and mentor for me, actually. And so yeah, so like yeah, we have this great we have a great performance in the company. I mean, it's performing very well. We're profitable. We're growing. We're doing very well on most of the core metrics really that you'd want to see in a software business. And we have big ambitious plans. I mean, we plan to continue to build a really big software company. We think the space that we're in, this digital employee experience space, DEX, and yeah, there's going to be a Gartner Magic Quadrant that comes out in the next couple of probably in the next month or so here, and that sort of validation that this is a space that's very, very hot right now. There's a lot of activity in this space. There's a lot of interest in this space, and really because yeah, this is the next big frontier for IT teams to encounter. You know, they've got to find a way to enhance that experience for end users, and yeah, we as I said, we rely upon technology to do our job. I mean, we wouldn't be having a conversation now if it wasn't for technology. And how bad would it be for you, Vitaly, if all of a sudden Zoom's crashing or your machine's crashing? You couldn't do your job if that was the case. So it's vitally important, and it's something that resonates at the C-level. I meet with CIOs regularly. I meet with CEOs regularly. And it's a very high priority for them because they invest a lot of money in the underlying technology to enable their organizations to do their job. I mean, digital transformation was the big agenda for the last 15 years. And of course, organizations have invested very heavily. And if you like, the last mile of that is to ensure that you have the right kind of tooling in place, like our tool, to ensure that you can provide a consistent, great experience to end users.
Absolutely agree. I mean, I've worked for very large companies. IT was our nightmare always. Even we had thousands of people in IT, and it was a nightmare. Always over budget, always problems. And the CEO, this is one of the things he's pulling his hair out. He didn't have any hair by the time he finished. So,
Yeah.
so thank you, Mark.
It's
Thank you for
unfortunate.
your yes, it is unfortunate. Thank you for your work. Thank you for your passion and all the people there, because we do need small companies like yours that are championing this area, because otherwise it's you know, it's hell for a lot of people and for their customers as well. It passes on to their customers the same service.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, we'll have you
Great.
again and talk about more details in the future.
That'd be great. I'd love to do that. Thanks very much for inviting me on. I appreciate it.